Like, this whole episode was just savage on everyone. Hey guys, my name is Tamara and welcome back to my channel. Every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I do a review called Did You See That Shit? And today is Wednesday, so you know what that means. It's all about Riverdale. So last week's episode was entitled When a Stranger Calls, and let me tell you, Riverdale, y'all had me in tears. No, I'm saying I didn't cry last week, but I was like highly upset by a lot of things last week. So let's get into this recap. So this whole episode, you have to start with Betty only because everything else is like encircled around Betty's storyline. So she gets a call from the Black Hood and he tells her, hey, I know where your sister is, so you do these tasks for me, and once you do these tasks you can ask me a couple of questions and I won't kill your sister. So the first thing he wants her to do is print an article about her mom getting arrested when she was a teenager and that she was a Southside Serpent, because as you know, her mom basically hates the Southside Serpents and is always talking ish about them in the newspaper. So, you know, basically want to knock her down a peg. At first Betty didn't want to do it, but then Alice called Betty out talking about, oh, you and Jughead must have wrote this letter, because Sheriff Keller comes back to Alice and tells her, hey, this letter, they two different handwritings and they don't match. And you know, so Betty was like, man, fuck my mama, I'm just gonna write the damn thing. And there's that first thing. So the first question Betty asks him is, if he took off the mask, will she recognize him? Like, does she know him? And he says yes. So before all this happened, like before she prints out the letter and all that, she tells Archie that she got a call from the Black Hood. And my thing was, hold on. So Archie, the first thing Archie says is, hey, we need to tell the sheriff. I'm all like, wasn't you like a couple of weeks ago just saying that you don't want to tell the freaking sheriff anything? That you don't want to, the sheriff don't know what the hell he doing, but now you want to tell the damn sheriff? So the next task the Black Hood wants Betty to do is basically not be friends with Veronica. And it was so sad. Okay, so let's go into Veronica real quick, okay? So Veronica's parents is getting kind of weary about the whole, you know, that land that they bought last season, because Alice keeps talking about Hiram like in a negative light in the newspaper. So a lot of donors ain't trying to give them money. Hiram calls the St.Clairs from New York to come and try and be donors. So of course Veronica's excited because that's her old life. She's like, oh, is Nikki coming? Who is Nick St.Clair? Her parents is like, you need to butter him up so he can convince his parents to donate some money to this fund, you know? Veronica is so elated that, you know, Nick is coming, and you know, I get, like, they said that it was her ex-boyfriend, but really technically she keeps saying that they never dated, so I'm like, okay, so technically they're not. So the next day, Nick goes to school because he's supposed to be like a music producer or an up-and-coming music producer. So he comes to see the Pussycats perform. And he says, hey, let's have a party in my hotel room. And that's when Cheryl walks in and it's like, oh, party? I'll be there. So they have the party. And at first it was just chill, you know, music and whatnot, and then Nick was like, oh, I got some jingle jangle, which Reggie supplied, and I'm all like, here it is with this jingle jangle. So at first everyone was like, I don't want no jingle jangle, but of course Veronica's like, okay, whatever, you know, want to keep up with the top dogs, I guess. So everyone's taking all this stuff, and Veronica comes to Betty and is like, hey, come on, have fun. And that's when Betty lets loose. I'm like, oh my God. I wanted to cry. I was like, Betty, oh my gosh, she was a savage. I was like, God damn. Oh, Betty. It broke my heart when she said all that stuff to Veronica. I mean, even though y'all know that I'm like not the biggest Veronica fan, it's still the simple fact that I love Veronica and Betty together. Like, so Nick, after the party, Veronica is still, you know, mad about what Betty said to her. So Nick is like, oh, you're nothing like what she's saying. And then he tries to touch her and she like, bruh, like, I'm with Archie, you know that, don't touch me. And he basically tells her, you better do what I say or I'm gonna tell my parents not to give your daddy money. And Veronica's like, yeah, no, So she slaps the crap out of him and runs out. So her parents give like this fundraiser. Nick apologizes, but yet does something messed up by spiking Cheryl's drink and tries to sexually assault her. And luckily, my girls Josie, Melody, Val, and Veronica goes and whoop his ass. Oh my god, y'all. Okay, I'm just saying. So they bust in that room and they rip him off and just start beating the shit out of him. I was like, god damn, okay, that's what I'm talking about, y'all. So let's get into Jughead real quick because he's about to come into the forefront with Betty. So let's get into him real quick. So Jughead is still at Southside High and he notices that the serpents are kind of like running like hectic right now because FP isn't there anymore. So he goes to the serpents and it's like, hey, I want to join the gang, you know, I want to ride with y'all. And they like, all right, you want to ride? Let's do these initiations. So the first initiation that he has to do is take care of their pet dog. And the second one was he has to learn the commandments of the serpents, which I was like, okay, they're just yelling at each other. The third initiation was that he had to get a knife from a serpent. All these initiations, and all through it, Tony is like right there like cheering him on and helping him out. So of course Jughead is keeping this from Betty. They have their sweet moment at Pops and oh my gosh, that was the part where I was about to just kind of cry a little bit because I was like, they're so cute. Oh my god. Like, I'm not a big shipper, but man, that was so cute. So right before the last initiation, Tony comes to Jughead and is like, this is your last chance to back out. Once you are in this gang, it's blood in, blood out. You live for this gang, you die for this gang. So if you aren't ready for that, then back out now. And Jughead's like, I hear. Archie didn't know about the whole Veronica thing. So he came to Betty the next day after she cussed out Veronica, like the equivalent of cussing Veronica out. He's like, what the hell, Betty? Like, what? Why did you do that? And she's just like, look, bruh, the Black Hood told me I have to do it. And now he told me that I have to break up with Jughead. But she's like, she couldn't do it. So Betty tells Archie to break up with Jughead, or just tell him that they need a little distance for a minute. Archie Andrews, why did you do the most savage thing besides Betty's savage moment with Veronica? Oh my god. Okay, the way that you broke up with Jughead was so uncalled for. And on top of that, so he notices that, oh, Jughead is about to join these freaking serpents who he claims beat them up, when in reality, Archie, you're the one who started it. You're the one who started this fight, like for real. You came to the South Side with a gun pointed in Sweet Pea's face and you don't think that they're gonna retaliate? What? Wow, mind blown. But seriously, when he went to Jughead's house and then was like, oh, you're about to join these thugs, and I'm just like, but where are you at? Like, you're over there, I'm over here, I have to survive. Like, you're not understanding that. So he goes off on Jughead, telling him like, oh, Betty doesn't want to be with you and she knew that you were going to the dark side, and just like, Betty told you to be gentle. So like, after this whole thing blows over, they can come back together. But now Jughead is like, no, she doesn't want me. Like, he's still going to have that insecurity that she doesn't want him, because he had that insecurity last season when he thought that Betty still wanted freaking Archie. So now that you are the one who broke up with Jughead the way that you did, it's like, it's gonna be hard for Jughead to A, be confident in knowing that Betty actually wants him, and B, like, have confidence that Betty isn't going to just leave him. So Jughead, last initiation was to get jumped into the gang. Well, I don't know how all gangs are, but I know some gangs, not saying that I'm in a gang, but how some gangs are, you get jumped in. Like I said, blood in, blood out, you know? And Jughead, like, this is the second time I saw my boy get his ass whooped, and I was like, whoa, Jughead could take a hit. So Betty is sad now, of course, and the Black Hood calls her again, and she's like, she ain't got nothing else to lose, so she like, I want to see your face, basically. And he like, all right, go to this like dark house. And I'm like, Betty, come, like, this is like horror movie 101. You never go anywhere alone at night. Like, what the hell? But anyway, so you know how Betty wrote that article about Alice, and Alice was pretty upset because she didn't want no one to know that she was a serpent and all that. And it basically made her, you know, it kind of discredited her because she was always talking so negatively about the serpents, and lo and behold, she was one. So it kind of discredits her. So we thought that she didn't want to go to this fundraiser that, you know, the Lodges was holding. So Hal went, and everyone's like, where's Alice? And he's like, oh yeah, she's at home. At first I thought it was Cheryl, because you know Cheryl always makes that grand entrance, but no, it was Alice, and she looked so good. I was like, yes, Alice. Oh my gosh, her outfit was so cute. And I didn't even notice that it was a snake on her neck. Like, I just was like, okay, it's like this orange jumper with like a train, and it was somebody at Riverdale. Please let me know where the hell she got that outfit, because I want one. Okay, so at the end of all this drama, all this shit that Betty just did for the Black Hood, he like, look, I know you told Archie, so either give me a name or I'm gonna go kill your sister. And Betty's like, no, I don't want to do that. Like, no. And then she just is like, Nick St.Clair. And he just like, see, we are the same. Well, that's it. If you enjoyed this, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel where I post 4 days a week. Also, comment down below your favorite moment in this episode, and also if you were on the verge of tears because your homegirl kinda was. Also, follow me on all my social media links, my Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram, where I post regularly and all those good stuff. And I also live tweet on Wednesdays for Riverdale, so please follow me on Twitter for that good stuff. And other than that, I guess I'm gonna see you guys later. Bye.